Hi everyone, it's Carmen, and today is November 15th, 2017, and I just had to take this moment to commemorate someone who's been a huge influence in my life. And I never even met him, but I've come to know him through his writings, and that person is Oswald Chambers, and the book I'm talking about, of course, is My Utmost for His Highest. Oswald Chambers died November 15th, 1917 in Zeitoun, Egypt, as he was working as a chaplain for the YMCA, ministering to the British troops during World War I. He died of a complication to appendicitis, and I just can't imagine what his wife, Biddy, with her little child, Kathleen, must have felt in those moments, just being there in Egypt and having been ministering with her husband, and all of a sudden her life just comes to kind of a halt. Her husband is gone, she has no ministry, she has no income, and no longer does she have a home. Biddy returns to England, and eventually she compiles her notes, her shorthand of all the messages that Oswald gave, that she took notes of the last 7 years of his life while he was the principal at the college in Clapham, and also while he was in Zeitoun. And she compiles her notes and publishes by herself this amazing book, My Utmost for His Highest. Today it's the best-selling devotional in the world, and I'm sure most of you have read some parts, if not all of the book. I know for me, I've gone through stages where I read it all the time and other stages where I put it down for a while, but if you look at my book, it's all marked up, see? Because his words have really ministered to me. And I wanted to share one quick story. Years ago, as I was sensing there was a transition coming in my life, I was really praying about it. I was fasting and praying and asking the Lord, just sort of waiting on him to see what was going to happen. And my son Jesse was about to go to Bible college in Peru, so I called a friend who had just been in Peru, and I said, hey, tell me about it. And this friend said, oh, don't worry, he's not going to suffer there, but I need you to come work for me. And this friend was Chris Clark, the founder and president of Children of the Nations. I had met Chris and his wife Debbie, and had actually been on 2 trips with them to the Dominican Republic as a translator for my friend's church. So I knew about their ministry, but I told him he was crazy. I said, you can't afford me, and I've already got a job. So he said, no, come in and talk to me anyway. So I did, and he really made the call on my life to come and work for him for his ministry. And as I prayed, I just wasn't sure. And something that I was reading during that time, I don't even remember what it was, led me to this reading in My Utmost for His Highest. And the date was April 29th. And the title is The Graciousness of Uncertainty. And I really urge you, if you're struggling with uncertainty at this time in your life in any area, I urge you to read this, The Graciousness of Uncertainty, April 29th. I'll put it up so you guys can see it. So let me read you a little bit of what it says. Certainty is the mark of the common sense life. Gracious uncertainty is the mark of the spiritual life. To be certain of God means that we are uncertain in all of our ways. We do not know what a day may bring forth. This is generally said with a sigh of sadness. It should be rather an expression of breathless expectation. We are uncertain of the next step, but we are certain of God. So in that time of my uncertainty, I felt like that was, the Holy Spirit used that to minister to me to say, hey, you might be uncertain about your next step. You might be uncertain in all your ways. You may not be sure if this job's going to work out or what to do in this ministry. I had trepidation, but you are certain of God, and I am certain of God, because he is faithful, and he is good, and we all know that, and he loves us. So I urge you to read April 29th in My Utmost for His Highest, and just remember today this amazing man, Oswald Chambers, who really spent his life for Jesus. And thank God that his wife Biddy recorded his messages so we have his words today. Here's 3 books I'm going to recommend for you. Of course, find a copy of My Utmost for His Highest and commit to reading it this year and see what God will speak to you through that. It's wonderful. Mrs. Oswald Chambers by Michelle Ewell is a new biography, and it's just wonderful. It talks about Biddy's journey before meeting, during her marriage to Oswald, and after his death. Amazing book. Highly recommend it. Make sure you get it and read it. It'll really be an encouragement to you. And last but not least, the biography of Oswald Chambers by David McCasland, Abandoned to God, and that certainly is what he was. I read this book years ago, loved it. I thought somebody should make a movie of it, and Daniel Day-Lewis should play Oswald Chambers because they kind of resemble each other a little bit. Anyway, make sure to remember today, Oswald Chambers, God used him in amazing ways, and his words are here today still to encourage us. So, last thing, if you have a story about My Utmost for His Highest and how the words of Oswald Chambers have ministered to you and encouraged you, would love to hear from you. Post it in a video or just write it down and put it in a comment, and that way we can all be encouraged by these great words and remembering this man of God and what he did for God's kingdom. So God bless you guys today, and see you next time. Bye.